everybody, this is Joy with Joy's Life. I wanted to show you a few things about the Gypsy. Here it is. For those of you who haven't seen the Gypsy before, this is made by Provocraft. Here's the top of the Gypsy. This is the stylus. I tied a little ribbon around it because sometimes it was hard to get out. The stylus that usually comes with the Gypsy is silver, but I bought a pink one. I needed to have some extras because I have a tendency to misplace them. This little area here is where the plug goes if you're going to charge your Gypsy. Let me show you that plug. Okay, here's the whole plug for the Gypsy. It's easy to spot. It says Gypsy. So to charge your Gypsy, you put the little end right in there, just like that. I'm not sure if this is how it is with all of them, but the end that plugs into the Gypsy, at least on mine, it sticks out just a little bit. See that? This area is also where you can plug in a standard USB cord. You can use that to update your Gypsy using your laptop or desktop computer, whatever you have. And it's also the place where you plug a cord into your Cricut, so you can link your Gypsy to your Cricut. You may notice that my Gypsy looks a little different than the ones you see in the store. It's just because it has this sleeve on it. Typically, when you buy the Gypsy, it'll look like this. You know, it's just the black regular Gypsy. This is just the silicone sleeve, just so it can look a little different. Okay, so another important thing you need to know about the Gypsy is how to sync it with the cartridges, which is one of the special things the Gypsy does, is to hold all the cartridges that you have inside it so you don't have to carry them everywhere. You'll need this cord. It will come with your Gypsy. So now we'll take the smaller end of the cord here and put it in the Gypsy. Okay, it's all in. Now we're going to use this end, connect it to a cartridge, and load the cartridge into the Gypsy. Okay, so here's a cartridge I just got. It's called Once Upon a Princess, and what I'm going to do is put it right onto the little cord, just like that. It snaps on, real easy. And you see the front part has the Gypsy symbol on it. Let me show you that. You see? Okay. All right, so now we're going to turn on the Gypsy and upload it. It's not actually on yet, so let me boot it up and I'll show you how that works. Okay, the place you turn the Gypsy on is on the side, right here. There's a little button right there, and you press that. See a little blue light come on, and then the Gypsy screen. Now you can see that the screen is loading. On the welcome screen, you'll see the Cricut head here, and then you'll also see a little wrench. That's for settings. If you click the wrench, you'll see the settings menu come up. And you can exit. You exit by clicking exit. Now what we're going to do is click the bug head. And it's loading the Cricut application. This can take a few seconds sometimes. Once your screen is loaded, you'll see that you can open a new file, you can open an old file, or you can open a file as a template. If you open the file as a template here, then that means you can't make any sort of adjustments to the file, which is good if you just want to show it to somebody or look at it and you don't accidentally want to click something. This is for updating your Cricut. When you do your Gypsy updates, you can actually also receive updates for your Cricut, and then you plug your Gypsy into your Cricut to give your Cricut those updates. This button is to delete a file. And here is where we link the cartridges, and that's what we're going to do now. So we're going to click Link Cartridge. As you see, it says please ensure the Cricut cartridge is connected to the Gypsy, and press OK when ready. So now we'll link the Once Upon a Princess cartridge to my Gypsy. Alright, so to begin, all we have to do is click the OK button here. So I'm clicking that, and now it says it's reading the cartridge information. And up at the top you can see that it's Once Upon a Princess, and then it says this process permanently links the attached cartridge to this Gypsy. So once this cartridge is part of this Gypsy. It can't be shared with another Gypsy. But that's okay. With me, I'm going to go ahead and click OK. Now the cartridge license agreement comes up. You can click you disagree, but if you disagree, you can't put your cartridge onto the Gypsy. So I'm going to click that I agree with the cartridge license agreement. And now it says, congratulations, you've successfully linked this cartridge to this Gypsy. Would you like to link another cartridge? And I'm not going to link another one right now, so I'll say no. And that's it. It's loaded. So now I'm going to show you where the cartridge is on the Gypsy. First, I'm going to click New. We're going to open a new file. And these are where you can pick your mat sizes. That's the 12x6 for the personal Cricut, and the 12x12 for the Expression, which can also use a 12x24 mat. I'm going to click 12x12. Alright, so this is your main screen that you see when you're using the Gypsy. This is the mat, the 12x12, like you would see if you actually had one in front of you. And these are the different things it can do. But right now, I'm going to show you where the cartridge is located. This is the Easter 2010 cartridge, and that's the overlay. But let's find Once Upon a Princess. These are all the cartridges. The ones that I have are in black. The ones I don't have are in red. But what I want to do is just find the ones that I have. So I'm going to click Linked Cartridges. This will show every cartridge that has been linked to my Gypsy. And look, right there, Once Upon a Princess. If I click it, then it will come up. This is what we just linked. It worked. Everything that you see here is what you see on the Cricut overlay, just like when you put it on top of your Cricut. If we click on a button, we can see it bigger. If you just hold your stylus down, you can move it around and all the pictures will get bigger. You can take a look at anything you'd like. If you'd like to see some of the images larger, for example, that one's difficult to see even with that button highlighted, and even though it's a little bit larger, you can see it full screen, or almost full screen, by pressing this top button over here. See the silver buttons here? Okay, press the top one, hold it down, and press the button you'd like to see larger. Okay, release your stylus, and the image will be large. You can even release the button now that it's already enlarged. And that's it. So now you can see it full screen. If you want it to go off, click the top button again, and there it's gone. If it's time to turn your Gypsy off, it's a simple process. But first you might want to save your file. If you do, you click the silver button on the right, and then you can choose from Save if you've already named your file, or Save As if you need to name it. If I click Save As, we can name it. Let's call this one Test. I click OK, and it'll save my blank file since I haven't put anything in it as Test. If we're ready to turn the power off, we do just what we did to turn it on. We press the button, and then we're presented with some options. Do we want to use Standby, which is for power saving, Turn Off, or just Cancel? Well, we want to turn it off, so that's what you click. Well, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial about the Gypsy. You learned a lot of things. How to link a cartridge to the Gypsy, how to turn it off and on, the different kind of plugs that can go in the top, and a few things about the buttons on the Gypsy. I hope you'll come back to joyslife.com. See you later.